Hi, my name is Danny, and I am the creator of Skin Harmonics, the very first Medi-Holistic skincare system. And today it's kind of part of a series I've been doing, just weighing in on all the different conventional methods for acne and sun damage. So today I'm going to weigh in on lasers, and what I'm going to clump together with that is lasers, IPL, I guess hydrofacials go in there, all types of lasers, fractal lasers. So part of what I do at Skin Harmonics is I resurface skin without trauma. And clinical skincare has been steeped in trauma since the beginning in the 1900s. And then as anti-aging procedures got more popular and clinical skincare in a conventional way like took hold, it's all trauma-based procedures, and we didn't know any better because this was just how it was. And so every time, I do a lot of education about how to do skincare in a way that how we can resurface our skin. And I use something called topical dermal nutrients as a resurfacer. So it's a nutrient-based healing, and it's topical. So but as I'm trying to educate people about this, and as people are getting to know Skin Harmonics, I always sometimes get this endless thread or texts or emails about, well, what about this? Well, what about that? What about chemical peels? What about injections? What about microdermabrasion? What about... And then there's always this firing off, and I just have done videos about all of those. And now there's the last parts of, well, what about lasers? What about fractal lasers? What about hydrofacials? Hydrofacials, that's like water, right? So basically, they're all trauma-based. Everything I just listed off was trauma-based because that's been conventional clinical skincare up to date. And what they all have in common is that it's a controlled wound to our skin that creates a lot of inflammation, and it creates because it's a wound, even though it's a micro-controlled wound, our skin goes into terror mode and starts making new skin cells. And great. However, it's not all great in the way that, yes, we might have an explosion of new skin cells, but what is also happening is that our skin is going to have to process away extra fluid. It's dealing with a huge inflammatory situation. And when our dermal layer is constantly being exposed to these so-called acne and anti-aging procedures, it starts to break down collagen and elastin matrix. Yes, we get a little burst, but it's not worth what we kill at the same time. So it's sort of like we take one step forward with any trauma-based procedure, and then we take 2 to 3 steps back. And a lot of this is not evident until more time has gone by. The long-term effects of trauma-based procedures aren't seen 5, 10, 15 years. But they do and will catch up to us, just like the sun exposure. And when our dermal layer is over-exercised in a way that it has to repair and make new skin cells, and do it all, by the way, without any increase in nutrients, without any increase of hydration, and a lot of those procedures don't restore the barrier. So we get this initial response from lasers where, in all of these procedures, where our skin, fills with fluid. So then we think, oh, our wrinkles have gone away. Well, no, you just have a lot of, fluid in your skin that your skin is not happy with, and it's stagnant. And and then also there's a brightness that happens after a trauma-based procedure, but it's not, I'm telling you, it's not the same as like a deep, sustained luminous glow that comes from a dermal layer that is resourced in a generous amount of dermal nutrients. So, and I also think that there's been sort of these indicators in conventional skincare for skin health that aren't the full picture. Just having volume in our skin is not necessarily, going to give us healthy skin. But I want to just specifically stay on these procedures, the fractal lasers, IPL, and then of course hydrofacials. Those are all things that are kind of going past that line and going beyond positive blood flow, which is what I specialize in, is staying in that sweet spot of stimulating positive blood flow with dermal nutrients, massage, microcurrent, things like that, instead of going past that line and then creating, a temporary situation where the skin can maybe look okay, but not really. And then as the years and years and years go by of routine lasers and routine procedures, the toll, catches up with us. So let's see. What else do I want to tell you guys about these procedures specifically? Oh, I know, they do have their place. Everything has its place. Sometimes they can be used locally, just specifically for broken capillaries and for very specific hyperpigmentation spots. Because part of the problem is that they can weaken the whole matrix if they're given everywhere. However, if we just do it in isolated problem spots, there might be a place for it. And especially if we're giving our skin all of the things it needs to really thrive and to thrive long term. And that would be maximum hydration, the absorption of these dermal nutrients. I work around with clients a lot to find that sweet spot where we're stimulating, plenty of new skin cells, but not adding extra inflammation. So that's something that I spend a lot of time getting just right. And that could change too through seasons and sun exposure. So, and then also restoring our skin's barrier. So much stress and anxiety on a daily basis is something that we put our skin through when we're always withholding oil from our skin, and being afraid of clogging our pores and not using basically a lipid-rich moisturizer. That causes a lot of problems for our skin. And so they have their place if they're used very specifically and with a lot of, if they're not used super aggressively, basically. And then, I just wanted to say one more thing. Okay, yeah. So one of my final weigh-ins about all of these trauma-based procedures that I've covered in the last, I've covered all of them by now. They should be all lined up in YouTube, is none of these things help with texture. And none of these things actually increase skin health. They're all kind of just, look in the other direction when it comes to these things. So you could have a facelift, you can be injected, you can be getting lasers every year. And what I have found over and over, I started specializing in streamlining this holistic resurfacing process about 15 years ago. And what I started to notice as the years went on is often the skin that has had the most procedures is ironically and sadly in the worst shape when it comes to texture, dermal thickness, and overall health. And so all of these procedures don't make our skin healthier. And that to me is just wow. There's something really wrong with how we're approaching skincare, and there needs to be a complete overhaul. And that's what I did with Skin Harmonics. So texture, glow, the resilience of skin, all of these are things that we can have, and we can have long term for our skin as well. Taking a lot of these shortcuts early on in our life with our skin kind of sets us up to having to be addicted into doing them until we're 70 or 80, where our skin can just look quite atrocious. So I kind of take this line where we kind of know what's available in the conventional quiver of what they can do, and with their, you know, all those little different things, all the arrows in the quiver that conventional skincare has. And what I do is I build a foundation of true skin health, of the real thing, so that then at our later years we can choose, you know, just a little bit and make it last a lot longer, rather than trying to go from skin health from the other way, where we just start taking all of these shortcuts that have a negative impact on our skin health, and then having to do more and more and more of them as we age. So anyways, I hope that all made sense. I know that the Skin Harmonics method is a completely different way of looking at skincare and treating skincare. And that's why I've completely switched over. I did natural skincare and medical skincare for many years and saw the blind spots in each camp. And that was why I reinvented the wheel with Skin Harmonics, where I truly feel like I've been able to bring the best of both worlds together for the best outcomes that either camp couldn't quite do on their own. So, all right, I will see you guys next time.